We've all of a sudden learned a lot about that infamous Trump Tower meeting involving a Russian lawyer named Natalia Veselnitskaya. Donald Trump Jr. was at the meeting, Paul Manafort was at the meeting, Jared Kushner was at the meeting, and many others. And by every indication, this was an attempt at collusion between Donald Trump's campaign and Russia. There was a quid pro quo discussed where there would be potentially a reduction in sanctions through the Magnitsky Act in exchange for the damaging dirt on Hillary Clinton that Natalia Veselnitskaya said that she would be able to provide. And over time, we've debunked a lot of the lies about this. There was the lie that Donald Trump Jr. wasn't really going into the meeting expecting dirt, the lie that the Russian lawyer wasn't connected to the Russian government in any way. But only now have we really learned about the testimony related to that meeting, because the Senate Judiciary Committee, in issuing a report that they believe, yes, that there were attempts by Russia to interfere with the election in 2016 to help Donald Trump, also released 2,500 pages of testimony and exhibits yesterday. And it is now clear beyond any doubt that Donald Trump Jr. wanted to collude with Russia. And the big takeaways are, number one, the people at the meeting said that no dirt about Hillary was actually provided at the meeting. We knew that already. It was promised to be delivered later. Very good. Number two, because of testimony from Rinat Akhmetshin, he's the Russian-American lobbyist who was at the meeting, he claimed that Donald Trump Jr. knew exactly what the meeting was about and actually said early on during the meeting, quote, "I believe you have some information for us." So the idea that Donald Trump Jr. didn't think there was going to be dirt, didn't expect there to be dirt, is absolutely bogus. We also read about testimony from Rob Goldstone, who was involved in setting up this meeting, and he testified that Natalia Veselnitskaya did indeed lobby Don Jr. about those Russian sanctions known as the Magnitsky Act and how those sanctions should be lifted. We were also previously told that Jared Kushner was only at the meeting for a little bit of it and then left. Rob Goldstone testified under oath that Jared Kushner stayed for the entire meeting, yet another possible Jared Kushner lie. And then we also learned more about, remember that quote that has been attributed to Donald Trump Jr., where he was told about the possibility of this dirt from Natalia Veselnitskaya? And he said, "If it's later in the summer, I love it." We now have the full context of that email from Donald Trump Jr., which said, "Thanks, Rob, I appreciate that. I am on the road at the moment, but perhaps I just speak to Amin first. Seems we have some time, and if it's what you say, I love it, especially later in the summer. Could we do a call first thing next week when I am back?" That's not exactly the email and the language used by someone who's not really interested in the dirt and doesn't really think that there would be dirt. That's the email of someone who wants to, as quickly as possible after he returns from a trip, get on the phone and figure out when they might be able to have the meeting with Natalia Veselnitskaya. We heard from Heather, there was in the testimony that we saw transcripts of, there was a moment where Heather Sawyer, who's a counsel for Dianne Feinstein, asked Donald Trump Jr., "What did you mean that you loved it? What did you love?" And she went on and said, "Did you mean that you loved potentially incriminating information on Hillary Clinton?" And Donald Trump Jr. said, yes. He was asked in testimony whether he told Trump Sr. about the meeting, and he says that he did not. Very difficult to believe. He also said that he didn't think there was anything wrong with meeting a Russian lawyer promising dirt on Hillary Clinton ahead of the election. And he also said he couldn't remember whether he discussed the entire thing with his father. And that starts to become the trend. I didn't do anything wrong, and I also don't remember. And I have a really hard time believing that Donald Trump Jr. just has no recollection about whether he told Donald Trump Sr. that he met with a Russian lawyer promising dirt on the opponent. If he's lying about not remembering, he actually still can be prosecuted. There's this idea that floats around that if you just say you don't remember, you can't be prosecuted because you're not saying something one way or the other. You can actually be prosecuted for these so-called intentional memory problems. Very unlikely. Like, I don't think Donald Trump Jr. is actually going to get in trouble for that. But the gaps in his memory are very, very bizarre.
Yeah, like I don't know how you would prove that he did in fact remember.
Correct.
But I think it's pretty clear that Don Jr. told his dad about it because
I think so.
It was such a small organization, that campaign, and this meeting, after all, took place at Trump Tower. Plus, what was it, like a few days after the meeting was planned, Trump promised damaging information on Hillary Clinton to
Well,
a national audience?
minutes after the meeting took place, Trump was tweeting about those missing 33,000 emails. So the timing of it is even more suspect. And we actually have a bit of transcript to put up on the screen. Just another element here. Donald Trump Jr. was asked, according to this document, 25 minutes after the first call ended, related to this meeting, you made an outgoing call to that same number. But in between the two calls, there's another entry, a call at 4:27 that lasted 4 minutes from a blocked number. Between Amin's call to you at 4:04 and your return call to him at 4:31, with whom did you have a call? Donald Trump Jr. saying, I have no idea. And of course, 9 minutes later, Donald Trump tweeting for the first time about Hillary Clinton's missing 33,000 emails. So the timing stinks. The lack of memory from Don Jr. absolutely stinks. And these transcripts raise even more questions. The intent to collude, and again, that's not a legal term. That is a colloquial term, which can include a couple of different crimes potentially. The intent to collude is abundantly crystal clear. And we only have more questions and even fewer answers as a result of these transcripts, which we will obviously continue to follow and see how they play into Robert Mueller's investigation. Send me your thoughts. What do you make of the transcripts? I'm on Twitter at @dpakman. Show is on Twitter at David Pakman Show. Today's program is made possible in part by Warby Parker eyeglasses, which I now have 2 pairs of. Warby Parker offers a free 5-day in-home trial of their glasses. You try 5 pairs. You see which you like. I wear contact lenses on the show, but I often wear glasses at night and on weekends. And both of my pairs of Warby Parker glasses are great. I did the free at-home trial. I picked 5 frames that I liked on their website. They sent them to me. I picked the one I liked the most, sent them back, typed in my prescription online, and soon I got my finished glasses with my prescription in the mail. And I love this because when I'm at a glasses store trying on glasses, I can't really figure out if I like them because I feel the pressure of the salesperson's gaze on me. I want to show the glasses to other people. I need time to figure out which glasses I want to commit to. And the eyeglass industry is also controlled by a tiny number of companies, which keeps prices very high. I even know people who have spent over $300 for a pair of glasses. But with Warby Parker, their start at just $95. That's what mine cost. To try the 5 pairs and support the David Pakman Show, go to warbyparkertrial.com/TDPS.